Hey guys, this is Mistress Nightmare here, and I'm sorry I haven't posted this video earlier. Like I said, due to work and school, I was very tired and I wasn't able to do anything last week because of work because I was that tired. And school recently started up that week, so you could understand why I was really tired. Anyway, we're going to be continuing reading His Heart, My Kidneys, chapter 6. Before we get started, please hit that like button, comment, subscribe to this channel if you guys want more creepypasta fanfictions out there. Until then, let's get started. Ida's Jack's point of view. We entered, and Slindy jumped a little. When he saw Marceline with me, I couldn't tell Slindy was going to give me a glare, even though he didn't have a face. I kind of was annoyed of that, so I decided to break the silence. Slindy, next to me right here is me. I was cut off when Marceline said, "Hello, my name is Marceline. It's nice to meet you." Slenderman was astonished as for what Marceline did right now. He got up from his chair and stood above her. And Slenderman said, "Hello, child. Why aren't you afraid of me?" he asked. "What is there to be afraid of? You don't look scary. You just look like a loving father figure to me. In a way." Slenderman just looked at her confused and said, "Why? I never met a child who wasn't scared of me or said those nice things to me." The next thing I knew, Marceline ran up to him and gave him a hug. Slenderman jumped a little, but he managed to hug her back in a fatherly way. "Well, you guys are getting to know each other. Slindy, I wanted to ask you some things," Jack said. Or I said. Slenderman let go of Marceline and said, "What is it, child?" Jack rubbed his arms and looked away. "Well, I was wondering if Marceline can stay with us. Like live with us. She doesn't have anyone else." Slender cut me off and said, "What do you mean she doesn't have anyone? What about her family and friends?" he asked. You see, Mr. Slenderman, sir, Slenderman cut Marceline off and said, "Please call me Slindy." Marceline smiled. Slindy. She sighs and turns around. "My mom and dad and sister died in a car accident a while back, and my friends were recently killed by my bullies. All my life had been bullied, and I never wanted that. All I wanted was to have a good life with family and some friends. I'm ruined." Marceline starts to cry. "If you don't want me," she sniffles when rubbing her eyes, "I can understand. Can you just erase my memories of meeting you and Jack?" Slindy cut her off and said, No, child. I will let you stay here. There is no need to cry. I am here to help you. You are very special to me. You are the first person who was never scared of me. Come here, Marceline." Marceline ran up to him and gave him a hug, while smiling and saying, "Thank you, Slindy." Slenderman just patted her head and said, "Hush now, child. Please, no more crying. Promise me you won't cry." Marceline nodded and said, "I promise," and let's go, Slenderman. Jack rubbed his arm and said, "Well, Slindy, can she stay?" Slenderman looked at him and said, "Of course." Jack smiled and looked at Marceline. "You hear that, Marceline? You can stay." He was cut off when Marceline tackled him in a hug. "Thank you so much, Jack." He smiled and returned the hug and stuttered, "You're welcome, Marceline." Marceline let him go, and she could have sworn he was blushing under his mask, but that was just a thought. She may be hallucinating, so she shrugged it off. Slindy, where am I going to sleep?" Marceline asked, looking at the Slenderman. "Well, you could be sleeping in Jack's room." "Okay," Marceline said with a smile. "There is no problem, child. Jack and Marceline. Would you like to meet the others? I'm not sure. I guess. Jack cut me off and grabbed my hand, leaving Slenderman's office. Jack and I left Slendy's office, and Slendy muttered something about, "Pff, kids these days."